Alright, what is up guys? NA4 here and welcome back to another movie review. And today we'll be talking about Hard Eyes, the new Valentine's Day horror movie that just came out. And I'll be letting you guys know my personal opinion on the film, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, the yes, the no's. And don't forget, man, if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to drop a like on this video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. And it's free, it won't cost you a single dime. So this is a lot cheaper than spending all this money on Valentine's Day for your significant other, which please do so, man. Go treat your significant other right. Show them the love that they deserve. And show a little love to me, on this video. Show the love to the channel. We're growing and expanding. But I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, man, let's talk about the movie because it's an interesting one. Okay, so I just want to make one thing clear. I did not watch like trailers for this movie. I kind of wanted to be surprised. I wanted to go into it open-minded, just fresh. And I will say this movie is not what I anticipated. It's not what I expected it to be. Uh, I was expecting just a kind of My Bloody Valentine kind of copycat movie. And that's not exactly what this movie is. It's a very campy horror comedy, if you will. This movie has lots of jokes and lots of humor. So, if you like that kind of stuff, you're looking for a good laugh, then you'll like this movie. But if you're somebody who's like, too many jokes, it kind of ruins the flow of the movie, you probably won't like it as much as other people. But I don't know. This movie was interesting. I did like Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding, because I grew up watching Olivia Holt on Disney Channel, man. Things like Kicking It, I Didn't Do It, Girl versus Monster, and also she was in a very underrated show, Cloak and Dagger, if you're familiar with that. So it was good to see her again, and I'm glad that she doesn't put on like a Disney type of performance. Like it doesn't feel like I'm watching like a kid version of her. It seems like she's grown into her own thing. So I do like that. And Mason Gooding, if you've seen the Scream movies, the more recent ones, then you kind of know what you're going to get out of him. And, I think it works. I think they have good chemistry. They're cute together. It's a good time. And like I said, it's a very campy movie. So every character in this movie seems like they have some type of joke, some type of one liner, some type of punchline in this movie. So it's very comedic. So, like I said, it probably won't be for everybody, but it does have like a classic horror movie feel. And I kind of like it. And another really good thing I like about this movie was the Hard Eyes Killer. Um, I really like the design. It's not overly designed and it's not too much, it's not too busy, but it's also not like borderline boring. So I really did like the Hard Eyes Killer design. The reveal might not be what everyone wants. It might make you be like, it really depends on who you are. Um, but yeah, the reveal was kind of like, and that's kind of what this movie is to a certain extent. It's very predictable. It's very cliche, and that's what I mean. It's definitely one of those like older horror movies, but it has charm to it. I think it does more good than bad, but it's not a perfect movie. Like it does have some downsides. Like I said, it's very cliche, it's very predictable. And there's lots of things in the movie where it's like, okay, this has to happen in order for the plot to progress. So it's like, okay, like I figured that would happen. Okay, I knew this character would get killed off, but I do like that this movie has really good kills. They're pretty creative, they're pretty gruesome, they're pretty pretty creative. So I did like the kills in this movie. Um, but like I said, like although I don't think this movie is necessarily perfect, I do think that there is enough good that it outweighs the bad. And you can watch this movie with anybody. You don't have to necessarily watch it with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whoever. You can watch it with friends. You can watch it with family. It's a movie that you can enjoy with anybody at any time. And also, I really like the set pieces in this movie. I think this movie has really cool set pieces and settings, like the botanical gardens, the drive-in, the apartment, the police station. Like, there's lots of variety. It's not like they're just stuck in the same exact place all the time. Like, there's different settings and there's lots of variety, and it's pretty creative. So I do like that quite a bit. But I don't know, man. Like I said, the plot is a little predictable, and some of the comedy doesn't really land all the time. Like, I don't know. Like I said, every character pretty much gets their time to shine. Every character kind of has to tell some type of a joke or something like that. And it can be a little much at times. I'm gonna be honest. It can be a little much because, like I said, it doesn't hit all the time. There are some like funny moments in the movie that made me laugh, but there's also some lines where I'm just like, oh god, like you guys, not every line of this movie needs to have some type of joke added to it, you know. And like I said, if you enjoy like those like classic movies, you enjoy the campiness in horror movies, then you'll love it. But it's not for everybody. And I enjoyed it for the most part, but there were certain times where I'm like, okay, this line didn't need a joke to it. This line didn't need to be turned into like a big joke, you know. And I'm sure the cast they had a good time with it. I'm sure they had a blast making this movie. But you do see the cracks in the film, like not like a okay, I'm turned off from this movie. Like it does have some interesting pacing issues. Like there are some scenes where it kind of drags on a bit, and some scenes where it kind of takes the tension away just for it trying to get like a a joke off. And it's like I would rather it just be like a gruesome death because that it sets stakes. It makes you feel the tension. It makes you feel something. But it says some of these scenes are just completely thrown away just because of how much humor the movie has. But like I said, man, I'd watch it again. Think of like Scream meets My Bloody Valentine, and that's pretty much what this movie is. It has the comedy, it has like the slasher identity like Scream, and it also has that gruesomeness of My Bloody Valentine, and obviously it's a Valentine's Day movie. So I don't know. I think it does more good than bad. It's a good watch. It does have a pretty well stacked cast as well. I don't think I touched on that yet. But yeah, there's lots of people in this movie that you'd be like, oh yeah, I know that person. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. Like, so I do like that. Olivia Holt, Mason Gooding, Jordana Brewster, and I believe it's Devin Sawa, I believe, from the Final Destination, the first one. So yeah, like the movie does have a pretty well stacked cast, and like I said, the humor it hits sometimes, not all the time, but I think it does enough. It has really cool set pieces. It's a pretty good looking movie, and I think everyone puts on pretty good performances. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's just kind of chopping it up. So I guess it kind of depends on what kind of mood you're in. Because like I said, I went into it blind, so I was very optimistic, but I enjoyed it for the most part. If I had to give it a ranking, I would personally give it about a 7 out of 10. Not perfect, but a pretty good watch. Predictable, cliche. It's just like, yeah, it was there. But yeah, could be better, but could be a hell of a lot worse. But yeah, 7 out of 10 in my personal opinion. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to drop a like, share, and subscribe if you are new. I'm in A4 and I am out. Peace.